I'm Janneke from Sugar Punch, and you're watching Surprise Radio.
Hey, and welcome to Surprise Radio. I'm your host, Surprise, and with me today I have Elsie Binx. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Oh, and it's already started. I knew I was going to lose my voice eventually, and it's 1 minute in, right on. So, sorry to my viewers. I've been a little under the weather this week, and I didn't want to cancel this interview because I was really looking forward to it. So, if you don't mind, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Sure. My name is Erin Accomando, vocalist and also keyboards sometimes.
My name is Darren Curtis. I'm the drummer, also background vocalist. Sometimes.
My name is Johnny Neville, and I play guitar and do backing vocals.
I am Phil Stewart. I am the bass player. Bass player.
You do woes.
I do, yeah. And sometimes production.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And production.
And used to be guitar.
yeah. I'm Jen, and I play keys and sing background vocals.
And I am Kevin. I am the band's producer, manager, live engineer, and father.
I forgot Winnebago driver.
Oh,
Driver of the Winnebago.
that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
So, tell me about some of your influences and heroes growing up or getting into the music business. It doesn't have to be musical heroes, just anybody, really.
I think we should each give like 3. Like of our
That sounds
top,
fair.
because we're all really, really super different when it comes to influences. We didn't come together as a band until we were all well into adulthood. So all of our influences are so incredibly different. And mine personally start with like Michael Jackson and Broadway and like Pink. So it's totally different than everybody else's.
I was definitely more of a rock guy. I was Van Halen and bands like Dokken or a lot of that 80s rock. I liked a lot of that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I was also a big fan of all that stuff. Van Halen is a huge one for me. But Soundgarden is also a really big one. Any Chris Cornell stuff.
Mm.
And God, I don't know besides that. Aerosmith for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I have too many. Too many because all right, I'll narrow
It's
it
the
down.
hardest for Phil.
Yeah, well, because I'm all over the place, right? I came into this band not trying to be a band member. So like some of my influences are like big time like producers and mixers. Like, I don't know, I'll throw some out there. I mean, Ken Andrews from Failure, who's both a band member and that a mixer. There's the Chris Lord Alges, the Tom Lord Alges, whatever. But then Chris Cornell is another big one for me, and Doug Pinnick from King's X is a huge influence on my bass playing as well. And Robert DeLeo from Stone Temple Pilots is another one
Nice.
too. And I'll keep going if I don't stop.
King's X is playing somewhere. Look.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to get us on that show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Really? We'd be a fit for that? That would be awesome.
At the vault. I'm trying.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. The vault. Yeah.
I'd say like one of my biggest influences, just because of the different skills she uses, is like Amy Lee in Evanescence, like very early on for me, and Kelly Clarkson. And I'm also like classically trained, so like anything opera genre I don't really listen to, but it's definitely been a big influence in how I perform and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
For me, band-wise, it would be the Beatles, Queen, Jeff Lynne, Electric Light Orchestra, Grand Funk Railroad, and Rick Rubin.
Yeah. And so our sound is very eclectic.
And I forgot to mention the Kenosha Kickers.
Yes,
we're
big
all
fan.
influenced.
Big fan of the Kenosha Kickers.
Polka, polka, polka.
Up in Sheboygan.
Yeah, they sold 600 copies in Sheboygan.
And I accidentally missed asking, but how long have y'all been together?
So actually, as of next week, we started working on the first record 9 years ago. But that's a whole story in itself. This particular group of people has been together since 2018.
Early 2018.
Or-
So
Yeah,
al-
very early,
almost,
like January.
Yeah.
almost
honestly.
5 years then, right? Or 4 years.
More than that, like 7.
Six?
It's like, wait, what's the
It's
math?
Six.
Six?
6. It'll be, yeah, 6.
We're musicians, not mathematicians.
We know music
And
math.
a
That's
1,
it.
2, 3, 4.
That's it.
We had a different lineup and an incarnation of the band the first 2 years and a couple of months,
Mhm.
and then things kind of rapidly changed. We replaced the rhythm section, the bass and drums, and kind of went in a little slightly different direction,
And that's when I started playing keys.
right? If not musically as well as personally, we all became
Yeah.
much tighter and much more of a family.
Yeah.
Our whole inner vibe changed after those first 2 years. The first 2 years were a very well needed, great learning experience that really brought us to where we needed to be. We just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. It felt like an eternity, those 2 years. But now to say that we started working on the first record 9 years ago next week, it feels totally impossible.
But it's funny how when you look back on those things, and even if they were upsetting at the time or things weren't right, you realize now that it all had to be that way.
Mhm.
Now, I know that you just finished a stream for the video release for Your Highness at the time of recording. I wanted to ask about music streams. I know that a lot of people that stream on Twitch kind of have a hard time with rights issues and things like that, but with it being your own music, do you ever run into something silly where you have to prove that it's your music to use it on the stream or anything like that?
All the time, Twitch and YouTube, all the time. I have to put an appeal in for every single music video. Just had to do it for Your Highness. Yes, we wrote this. Yes, it is ours.
It's nice to know that those things are working though.
Yes.
They're in place
But-
and they're working. So
You would
Yes.
think they would like catalog them, so if it was a repeat offense, you know you're covered.
They don't.
You know.
And actually Twitch is a lot easier. Twitch pays for different rights. Whereas YouTube, you can't post anything that isn't your own content and make money off of it. Whereas Twitch is very different. You can play anybody's music and make money off of it. You just can't have a VOD, like the video on demand that is afterward. That can't be available because you will eventually get hit with a copyright strike, and 3 of them can get your account banned off of Twitch. So they're different rules, but honestly, it's very rare that something gets hit on Twitch. We're kind of seeing as a collective Twitch society. So Twitch is really actually not the problem. It's YouTube that I'm constantly
I
having
get
to
nailed
appeal.
on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
all the
Facebook's really bad about
I
it.
have to, every time that I stream live production and I double stream to Twitch and Facebook, every single time
Mhm.
I'm banned in multiple countries because, and I'm just like, you know what?
Like you're literally making the music.
The other
Yeah.
day I got banned in Russia and Belarus, and I was like, I'm not even going to challenge that. That's a
Dude.
badge of honor.
YouTube, it's always Russia.
It's
Yeah,
always Russia for me
It's
too.
always, yeah, it's always Russia.
I don't care.
I stopped carrying it.
I just don't care.
I was like,
sorry, all of our fans in Russia, but
I can't keep up. But yeah, Twitch is not so bad. You can get some copyright hits in your VODs and clips and stuff, but for the
They're
most
really
part,
gracious. They give
yeah.
you lots of time to fix it.
they really do. Whereas YouTube is like, absolutely fucking not. Fix it now. You're not making any money. Yeah, Twitch is much easier in that way, actually.
And at the end of that stream, I heard you saying something about it being your birthday soon,
Yeah. my
and there being
birthday's on
something
Thursday.
about tortillas involved.
I didn't expect immediate response to this.
He's done his homework.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, by
Yes.
the way. But yeah, we were talking about somehow incentivizing us having to slap each other with tortillas.
Which
for
you don't
sub-
gotta pay me for.
for subs or bits or whatever, but it's not a full fleshed out idea. I don't know if I want to do that on my
Can we do
birthday.
the song
Yeah.
tequila and replace it with tortilla? And every time that comes, you get hit with a tortilla.
I would
That's great.
suggest that you do it at a live show, but then you'd have
It's
people
like-
showing up with bags of tortillas.
Yes.
Pass the tortilla, like
Or
hot potato.
tea bags.
Or
Oh,
teas,
there's a
yeah.
whole
There's a whole tea bag thing. People show up with tea bags and we find them in our things and our merchandise and our shoes sometimes.
On our cars,
On
on
our
our
cars.
van.
In the mail.
In the mail.
In my bass drum.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Tea in
everywhere.
shoes
Get
isn't
tea bags
necessarily
a
a bad
lot.
thing, though. If they happen to be stinky shoes, tea can help that problem.
Yeah.
You'll soak some of the scent up.
That's
Yeah,
right.
maybe.
So in all of my interviews, I always ask about covers that you'd like to do, but I know that you guys have 3 very excellent covers out. And actually, even though I really, really like Your Highness, the newest song that you've put out, I still think that your cover of Uninvited might be my favorite, if for no other reason than the amount of work that you very obviously put into the video. You had a lot going on in that video. You can tell that you put a lot into it. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you about the process of what made you put just so much into that and why it came out just sounding so good.
Man.
Uh,
I was gonna say there's so many places to
A lot of
start.
variables.
You know, I'll start real quick by
Yeah.
saying that that's always been one of my favorite songs. And I really like her as an artist. Her voice can, yeah, the yodel kind of once in a while, but everything else about her, I really dig.
Mhm.
And I said something to Aaron quite a long time ago.
Ages with a different lineup. We're
Yeah,
talking
I was
first
like,
couple
I really
years.
think we should cover Uninvited.
and we
and
were
it
all on
just,
board.
Yeah.
it
We were all
just
moving.
never really happened until it happened.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, we went full blast on the recording and the production.
I know what. Okay, so we did a Halloween show in 2022, and I wanted to add some covers, and that's when Uninvited came back up
Because it's a creepy.
Yeah.
because it's
song.
inherently creepy,
But-
and that's when
That's
it
when
kind of came
everyone was
back.
like, yes, let's do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we did it, and it was like, holy crap, we did that really good, and we should probably
We should
continue
record
to
it.
do that, and
Yeah.
maybe even record it. And
And then make a video. And we've self-produced our own videos. Like the last 3 or 4, like all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Funded by Twitch.
Yeah.
So this one, I mean, you know, a lot of them were learning experiences. So this one, the biggest thing that I saw pay off was the pre-production of it and the amount of people we got involved in it. Usually it's
There's
just,
a lot of people.
yeah.
Yeah, we had probably like 60 people at that shoot.
Yeah, that's just with actually, I'm talking
I was
about
gonna say, I don't
just,
even know.
just the production team alone.
Yeah,
it's
production.
Probably at
Yeah.
least a good.
Because we got,
10.
10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
we,
then I had this vision of where to do the video. I had the idea of it had to be in this church, and I knew of this particular church because it's been used in a lot of videos, photo shoots. It's pretty famous, especially around here. And I just knew that that would be the setting. I just knew that there was no other place on this planet. And I even went and looked at a lot of other churches.
Yeah.
And there's guys that can get you into these churches, these urban explorers, like they have all the, you know, the for what and how to get in. But we took the proper road upon insistence and in good recommendation. We took the high road, and I spent about 3 months or longer trying to find the owner of this church, who turned out to be German, but was living in the States and bought a couple of square blocks. And I finally got a hold of him, and we paid some lawyer an exorbitant amount of money, dropped some bullshit contract that I could have drawn up myself. But anyways, so it was part of doing business. So we paid the lawyer. He let us use it for free. He came down twice during the shoot, and
Yeah.
both times was pretty blown away by it. Very dangerous place to be in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was the best setting, and I brought a piano. I found a free grand piano
Yeah.
online, and
Jeez.
Johnny and Phil and our buddy Slade Souls, we got in his pickup truck and we went to these people's apartment, and we muscled that son of a bitch out there and took it to the church and pushed it up a flight of stairs.
I wish I had video of that.
We
Um,
have a video on
There is
Facebook.
there's a
Of-
short
A
video.
little
Yeah.
short video, yeah. But and then I had this idea that, you know, they should be some kind of hooded something or other. And then I just backed off and they took it. I was just like, you guys gotta
Yeah.
figure, I got you the building. I got one little idea. Have fun. I gotta stay
Just a
out of it.
little idea.
Well, I mean,
Just little.
And I think the state of the world and the music business nowadays is that it almost seems like you need to have a cover of a song out there to get
Yeah.
noticed anymore, it seems. And
Yep.
and you know, if we're gonna do it, we needed to do it right, and we needed to do it big, and we
Big.
needed to do it well, and we needed to tag Alanis Morissette in every possible chance we got, in hopes
Yep.
that maybe she might see it and it would catch wind at her camp, and they might go, "Wow, this is great," or they might go, "What the hell do these guys think they're doing?"
Yeah.
Either way, it would throw something towards us, you know, some attention to some degree towards us.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's sort of as a, you know, by necessity of the way the world is nowadays with music, you know, if you want to be recognized,
Kind of
you
trying to
gotta cover
catch a
it the way,
break by,
and hope
by
that it'll generate some
Yeah.
traffic to our original stuff. You know?
Yeah.
just trying to catch a break and delivering something quality.
Yeah. And
Hey.
I will say it has generated, to
Absolutely.
your point, it has definitely generated plays
interest.
on our original tunes. And so I will say it didn't do as much as I'd hoped after how we probably dumped about $9,000 into that video. 7K on the video and 2K on the Google ads for getting the video out there. So yeah, about 9K total. And I would have hoped it did a little bit more, but it is still, it got us
Yes.
almost like 700 more subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
Like it was a
And
lot.
it's still out there. It's still
Mhm.
Our best
manifesting.
performing
It's
song.
still,
Yeah.
you know,
People love
it's
it.
out there now. So it's going to continue to
So
gain
thank
traffic
you.
one way or
Yeah.
the other.
Thank you
know.
very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know, on the subject of covers, I did want to make sure that I at least mentioned um Eva Under Fire did a version of Separate Ways. And I always that version of it really always connected with me. I hate Journey. That's the one band that I absolutely cannot stand is Journey. My mom loved Journey. It was her very favorite band. So it was always an annoyance to me when she'd listen to it around me. And now that she's gone, all it does is just make me think of her. And then they put that one out, and I was like, oh, you know, that one really, really, really touches me. And then I saw your version of it, and I got to say the production on the chorus, it's some of the best I've ever heard ever in any production. You guys
Thank
sounded
you.
absolutely fantastic
Wow.
in that.
Yeah.
Your version of The Show Must Go On took me back to the days, again, not making it about me, but when I was growing up, Wayne's World is where Bohemian Rhapsody got found again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I bought a single for Bohemian Rhapsody. On the other side of it was The Show Must Go On.
Man.
Hearing your version of that took me right back to 1991.
Aw,
Hell yeah.
So
Thank you.
Power of
you,
music.
you did a great job on those covers, and you always do a great job on your originals. Which brings me to, you've had a few originals come out this year, but not as much as in previous years. Do we have some things to look forward to in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're already working on 2 demos, and when we do them live on Twitch, we've been demoing out 2 brand new songs. We don't really have a timeline for them yet, but sooner than later, you know, because we're working on them. I would say probably the first half of the year. I'd love to have them both out. But yeah, I don't even know how many songs. I think just like 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
the
more
thing is,
videos.
I don't know
but-
that we'll ever do another full-length record
Yeah.
unless there's maybe some different type of funding.
Mhm.
I own the studio. I mean, I pay to use the studio. I don't own the building. We lease the building. So we have expense to stay alive. This is my livelihood. This is what I do for a living. However, it's very intense to make a full record.
Yeah.
It takes us getting together way more than every Thursday for 3 hours and streaming. Like it's a commitment. And when you have other jobs and other things, it makes it hard. But to do singles is not as difficult. But I think we're all of the mindset, we're just not going to put out a single. If we don't like it and it doesn't sound good and the production's not good and the writing's not good, we're not really interested in just have to put out a song or people are going to go, what happened to you? We're
Mhm.
going to stay active. We'll put out songs when we're
Yeah.
ready.
Right.
And I don't know how we become more ready than when we're ready.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
the mindset of doing a full length album is not, it's not really the way anymore. It seems like singles is sort of the way, you know, people don't go out and consume music by the albums anymore. They go for the singles, and they'll go for where it's free. You know, that's just the reality of it anymore. The
Yeah.
majority of the people go, where can I get my music for either free or for a cheap, you know, monthly subscription? I'm not buying full length albums. I'm not. So it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of time and effort that, you know, we would have to put forth to kind of make that happen. So doing singles is a little bit more, a little faster. It's a
Yeah.
little less expensive.
Yeah,
It's
it
more
helps.
relevant.
The biggest factor of our last full length record was the pandemic happening.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
That freed up a lot of time for us, and hence those singles too. Those couple of covers. It's funny
Right.
he mentioned the Separate Ways one in the production. That was our very first time doing that all separate.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of our rawest songs production.
Everybody,
Phil recorded all of my stuff from outside my kitchen window.
in his car.
No, sitting in a chair.
Oh, sitting in a chair.
On the porch.
We were all quarantined. We couldn't see each other
Mhm.
except for, fortunately, Darren lived in the
Fortunately, Darren's life was in a
Darren's life was in
allowed
hell.
to be at the
And he-
studio.
he's-
in
He
every
lived at the
moment.
studio. He lived at the studio. I
We're
lived,
home in the back.
Phil and I live 5 miles from the studio. So during pandemic, we spent almost every waking moment in the studio. And Erin had a studio in her house.
Well, we built them.
Johnny
We
Johnny
built
had a
them.
studio, and then Jen finally got a studio, and Separate Ways was recorded
Really
in
fast.
separate ways.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
done really fast.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pushed it out.
Yeah,
We learned a lot in the
And
process.
then I mixed it. Everybody just sent me their files, and recorded the
mean-
drums here with Darren. I did that, but everything else, send me your files.
What's cool about that video, now that I think about it, the drum track that you hear is the actual video footage that was taken.
Yeah.
It all happened at once. It wasn't
Oh,
you
you didn't
know,
let me do it.
no, that's
No,
not
wow.
reacting
I
to
actually
the
did.
No,
track.
that was live.
We did it all at the same
That's
time.
was
really
live.
awesome.
There you go. Fun little tidbit of
Yeah,
information.
I
That
really
was
didn't
all
know
live.
that.
Nope,
Yeah.
totally live.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And Your Highness, the song idea came from probably
was
set
one of-
up in that exact same
Yeah.
spot.
It actually wasn't.
Phil
long
and I
after that.
jamming till 2 o'clock in the morning with me living in the motorhome in the back.
We had so
and
much time on our
We
hands.
we recorded everything, and an idea for the riff idea for Your Highness came from that late night session of jamming, so
Mhm.
The whole
the
idea,
pandemic.
the whole idea about the pandemic and those songs, from my standpoint, was I wanted to be a trilogy of songs.
Yeah.
I wanted to be separate ways. We all had to go our separate ways. And then Queen being one of my favorite bands, and the show must go on. Are you kidding me? So
Yeah.
to us, the show had to go on. And then we never did it, but we could do it. It'd be pretty quick and easy. I wanted to do Come Together. And that was my trilogy of separate ways, show must go on. Then we all got back together, but we haven't done that.
I feel like we can find a better song.
Yeah.
It was just the name of the song
I
and
know.
what it represented. So they weren't on board with that. So I just let it go.
I
So
don't
it's,
like the idea. The song has been covered a trillion
got
times.
you.
That was
I
the
got
only
you.
reason
but I don't know another song that is as poignant as Come Together right
I
now.
thought about
You
it.
know, I don't know.
Come on, people now. Shine on your brother.
That's
Everybody
what
get
I'm-
together.
All right,
Oh,
all
there we
right
go.
now.
That's
That's
exactly.
All right, now.
that's not been
It's your
overcovered.
All right
We
now.
do it.
All right now. We may do that.
I
Right?
think I might know
We're
that
really
song
good
because
at-
of Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
It's a
an
great
easy one
song,
to do.
Jerry.
You could even do the intro like Chris did for the Nirvana song that he did the intro for, and then actually do the cover.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
No.
Stick a-
I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a chance to shout out any sponsors, if you have any.
My mom and dad.
Twitch, really
Twitch,
just
the Twitch community.
honestly. Our Twitch
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, the
is
Twitch
really
community.
Yeah, our friends and fans.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We don't have
That's
any
it. We
other
don't-
sponsors.
We have no drum sponsor, no guitar strings. Nobody I've tried.
I guess the studio, because this is our home base.
West Mix.
Yeah,
West
West
Mix.
Well, shout out to Kern back here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
A sponsorship just means that you get like $1 off.
Right.
Right.
I hear you. I hear, but I always like to give everybody the chance just in case they do have one.
If
absolutely.
you got some ideas, holler.
Did you have any upcoming tours that you wanted to talk about or kind of tease for everybody?
We're working on a couple of gigs, but they're all local at this point. There are some areas of the US we've never gotten to go to, and I would love to plan things in the future, if this year or next year. But we did have to sell our RV in 2021.
Yeah, I think
And so we have to kind of figure out that situation. The transportation situation's a little dire without, room for all of us. So in a perfect world, we would get an RV and we could plan like some type of fall tour, and I would love that, but there's nothing in the books as of now.
An even more perfect world, Evanescence would call us, and
Yeah.
that would be the
Right.
supporting act for a
Exactly.
6-month tour across North
Well, then,
America.
do I have some news for you on the phone right now? We have not Amy Lee.
I'd like to go on tour
Still
with
in.
Taylor Swift myself.
Oh yeah, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we
Go to
are,
a Chiefs game.
we are working on some local things here in Michigan.
We have a show March 1st.
Yeah, March 1st at the Diesel. We have some other things we're putting our names in for, like District 142, and the Vault. So we're kind of working our way back to having transportation to get back out
It's
again.
hard for
really
us
hard
to
otherwise.
go away any length or distance
Yeah,
because we have to rent a van or an RV, and
Down by the
it's
beach.
just not cheap.
no,
Yeah.
we've done it 3 times in the last
It's
year.
not cheap.
Yeah.
It's really expensive. So
Yeah.
we're trying. The
I
goal
do
is to
completely
let-
understand. Again,
Yeah.
just, thought I'd ask and make sure.
Oh, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
And before we go, because we're going to run out of time before too much longer, so I want to make sure that I give you all a chance. If you had anything you wanted to share with the people watching the interview, maybe if they aren't aware of your music or reason to listen or just anything really, just opening the floor up to you.
I'd like to start by saying that if you out there have never heard of our band Elsie Binx, that I think you should go check out our music. Everyone in this band works extremely hard, and we take extreme pride in what we do, and we're a bunch of badasses, and we care about this shit. So find us and like us.
like me.
Like us, please.
I want to say if you're not like a music listener type of person, and you are a visual type of person, please go check out all of our music videos, because even if it's a lyric video, we very quickly have a library of music videos now. We've never been a music video band because we were too busy oversaturating the market and working 3 times a week, so we couldn't shoot music videos. And so now we have a ton of music videos, and I love that. So that is one of the biggest things I'm hugely proud of, is our plethora of music videos to look at now.
We should shout out to Trish and Lauren
Yeah.
And
because of their
Jeremy and
work,
Derry from State of Mind.
Mm-hmm.
because of all their work on not one but several music videos.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah. My partner Trish and Phil's wife Lauren, they are hugely a part of the branding that you see. None of us make logos particularly for a living, or none of us are artists either. If it's on our stuff, it's either my partner or Phil's partner. There's one other person who does a lot of our artwork, and that's Melanie Mercadante. If it's on an album cover, it was probably Melanie Mercadante. And yeah, I would call him kind of a producer, Jeremy, in a way. I don't think we listed him as a producer of Uninvited, but Jeremy Andery is one of the top
He was the
brains.
cinematographer. Of
Yeah,
Uninvited.
cinematographer, director, editor of Uninvited. It was all his vision past, the things that Kevin brought to the table.
It was him bringing it to life
Yes.
visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to Jeremy. He's State of Mind Productions. And yeah, all of our team members are kind of family.
So there's our sponsors right there.
Right.
Thanks to people,
Right.
thanks to people
Mark,
like
that's
you
great.
for giving us a voice.
Lauren,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about is hearing each other and listening. And I can also add on that doing research for the interview, I watched a ton of your music videos, and about halfway through I realized I didn't need to watch anymore. I just wanted to. There's some really good music videos out there. So everybody watching, she's right. Check out their music videos.
Thank
I'm
you.
really
you.
proud of them.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Elsie Binx, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was an absolute pleasure, and I wish you the best. Happy New Year and everything going forward.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
for having
Happy
us.
New Year.
Thank
Happy
you
New
so
Year.
much.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.